Jai Gurudev. I hope you have all done your homework from last time. We will move ahead with Sikhi Dhwaja and Kumbha's story. Let's start reading with page number 316.
Sikhi Dhwaja asked, if all this, from the creator to the pillar, is unreal, how has this real sorrow come into being? Kumbha replied, this delusion of the world existence attains expansion by its repeated affirmation. When water is frozen into a block, it serves as a seat. Only when ignorance is dispelled does one realize the truth. Only then does the original state manifest itself. When the perception of diversity is attenuated, the samsara ceases to be experienced and you shine in your own original story. Thus, you are the supreme primordial being. This body, this form, etc. have come into being on account of ignorance and misunderstanding. All these notions of a creator and of a creation of diverse beings have not been proved to be real. When the cause is unproven, how can one take the effect to be real? All these diverse creatures are but appearance, like water in the mirage. Such a deceptive appearance ceases on being inquired into. Sikhi Dhwaja asked, why can it not be said that the Supreme Self or the infinite consciousness, Brahman, is the cause whose effect is the creator? Kumbha replied, Brahman or the Supreme Self is one without a second, without a cause, and without an effect, for it has no reason, motivation, or need to do anything, to create anything. It is therefore not the doer, neither is there any action, instrument, nor seed for such activity. Hence, it is not the cause for this creation or the creator. Hence, there is no such thing as creation. You are therefore neither the doer of actions nor the enjoyer of experiences. You are the all, ever at peace, unborn and perfect. Since there is no cause, reason for creation, there is no effect known as the world. The world appearance is but delusion. When thus the objectivity of the world is seen to be unreal, what is experience and of what? Whence there is no experience, there is no experiencer, the ego sense. Thus you are pure and liberated. Bondage and liberation are mere words. Sikhi Dhwaja said, Lord, by the wise and well-reasoned words which you have uttered, I have been fully awakened. I realize that since there is no cause, Brahman is neither the doer or anything of anything, nor the creator of anything. Hence, there is neither mind nor an ego sense. Such being the case, I am pure, I am awakened, I salute myself. There is naught which is the object of my consciousness.
Okay. This is a very, very beautiful page. We'll begin. If all this, from the creator to the pillar, is unreal, how has this real sorrow come into being? Many of us on this path have this question. We always think that dukkha, that which has come into my life, which is my current experience, is real. I am really suffering. See, right now I am unhappy. I am in dukkha. This is real. How can somebody say that this dukkha is unreal, or these experiences of people, situations and things that are leading to my dukkha are unreal? How is it possible? So Kumbha replies. Let's see what Kumbha says. This delusion of the world existence attains expansion by its repeated affirmation. When water is frozen into a block, it serves as a seat. What does this mean? If I keep repeating something, even if it is false, if I keep repeating it again and again and again and again, and I convince person A to do the same, B, C, D, E, n number of people keep repeating the same thing, the same repetitive affirmation starts appearing real. Yeah? Even that which is untrue starts appearing to be the truth only because of repeated affirmation. This itself is called self-hypnotism. You have this capacity of self-reaffirmation of something repeatedly and making yourself believe that to be true. This process itself is self-hypnosis. This itself is a delusion. This should, in fact, be the answer to how come you say that everything is unreal when I am really suffering. How can my dukkha be unreal? Yeah? Your dukkha is also nothing but a repeated affirmation by you that if I get object A, this is sukha. If I do not get object A, I get anything other than object A, that is dukkha. And I have repeatedly made myself believe that this is the way it is. So dukkha came from what? Did it come from that object? It came from my repeated affirmation. Homework for you. How many such repeated affirmations do you have in your life which have led to your particular experiences with people, situations, and things? It's a very good thing to sit and contemplate. What is it that I have made myself believe to be true? It is not really true, but I have made myself believe it is true. Oh, I am saying no, that is why it is true. Yeah. I'll give you a very small little example. Lot of religious fights happen between people of different religions, not because they believe that their God is really great or their scriptures are great or that is the only way. That is not the real reason. There is a subtle hidden reason. And what is that? I am born in this particular religion because I am a particular religion, you put it in, fill in the blanks. That is why this religion is great. There's nothing so great about the religion, but because I am born into it or I follow it, so it is great. Really look within. We do this to ourselves in many, many different ways, not just in religious beliefs. That was just an example I gave you so that majority of us understand what I'm saying. But most of the times, because I have it, that is why it is the best. Or because I like it, I own it, that is why it is the best. Because I believe in this or I am walking this particular path, that is why it is great. Nothing great about the path, but I am following this path, that is why it is great. Are you seeing what I'm saying? It is an affirmation I have done, I have given to my own self. And that is how I have made myself believe that which is nothing but self-hypnosis. Yeah? So contemplate on this. What kinds of self-hypnosis have you done to your own self? Only when ignorance is dispelled does one realize the truth. Only then does the original state manifest itself. When the perception of diversity is attenuated, the samsara ceases to be experienced and you shine in your own glory. Yeah? So the only way to get out of self-hypnosis, yeah, is to wake up, realize, oh, I have just hypnotized myself to believe that my house, my family, my religion, my community, my spiritual organization, my guru, my scripture, my job, my career, all this is great because it is mine. Because I follow it. So really see the truth. Oh, it is just a game of the ego. And it is not really the truth. It is just what my ego has made me believe. The moment this ignorance gets dispelled, truth shines forth. What is. Okay. I have this job. Okay. Nothing so great, nothing bad. No need for labels. What is. I have this religion, I'm born into this religion. Okay, nothing so great, nothing bad. What is. I am the son or the daughter of this person. I am the father of this great person or the mother of this great person. So what is. There is no need to unnecessarily inflate the ego. And that's what really leads us to hypnosis and away from reality as it is. Clear? When the perception of diversity is attenuated, you understood perception of diversity? This people, situations, things, different aspects of this creation, everything that makes me feel there is an I and you. There are two. There's diversity. Yeah? This is false. This is self-hypnosis. The moment this drops, this diversity drops in my mind, attenuated means to drop away or to reduce, to minimize. The samsara ceases to be experienced and you shine in your own glory. Thus, you are the supreme primordial being. This body, this form, etc. have come into being on account of ignorance and misunderstanding. All these notions of a creator and of a creation of diverse beings have not been proved to be real. When the cause is unproven, how can one take the effect to be real? All these diverse creatures are but appearance, like water in the mirage. Such a deceptive appearance ceases on being inquired into. Yes, and this is not an intellectual inquiry that Vasistha is asking us to do. Intellectually, you will not be able to get there because the intellect has a particular limitation. Beyond that point, intellect fails. It cannot understand. Reasoning and logic have a boundary which you cannot cross through the intellect. What can help you cross that boundary is actually going into meditation. Meditation is not just a relaxation pill or a wellness pill. Oh, you take this pill and this health is going to be good. You take this pill and your family life will be good. You take this pill and you're going to be a happier person. No, that is for the beginners. Yeah? Beginners on the spiritual path can think like that. But now you have come a long way and you understand this very well, that meditation is the only way to realize the supreme truth. There is no other shortcut to get there. Yeah. So if you are not yet meditating, next homework, start meditating on a regular basis. Go within. How much are you going to be lost in this outside world? It's just diversity which has been created out of my own self-hypnosis. It's an illusion. Yeah. For some time, withdraw from this illusion, go within, relax in that state of the being, the core of the being, which is you. Be deep down into your own self and the truth shall shine. Sikhi Dhwaja asked, why can it not be said that the Supreme Self or the infinite consciousness, which is the Brahman, is the cause whose effect is the creator? So in the previous paragraph, Kumbha says, when the cause is only not there, how can the effect be real? This is all the effect of some cause which, you want to call the creator. But the creator only has not been proved. So when the cause is not there, how can you say that the effect is real? Yeah, that was the argument that Kumbha put ahead. So Sikhi Dhwaja is saying, why can't we call Brahman consciousness as the cause, whose effect is the creator? Brahman, or the Supreme Self, is one without a second, without a cause and without an effect, for it has no reason, motivation or need to do anything, to create anything. It is therefore not the doer, neither is there any action, instrument or seed for any activity. Hence, it is not the cause for this creation or the creator. For you to do any action, you need a motivation. Yeah. You always say, okay, if I do this, I will get this. Therefore, I should do this. Then only you get up and do something. You always look for a motivation, a reason to do something. If there was no reason, you would not do an action. That is how mere mortals are. We do any karma only when we know that a particular karma phalam will be achieved by doing that particular action. Number 2, why are we like this, result oriented all the time? Because of ego. We always want to achieve something which is better than the neighbor, better than the colleague, better than the friend, better than another family member. We always have something or someone to compete with. If it was not like that, if you were all alone on this planet, just by yourself, and nobody else, would you really be result oriented? Think about it. Would you really crave for this house and that car and that career and that job and this money? And all this has stemmed from ego. Now let's go one level deeper. What is ego? From where did ego come? Ego, I, is always there because of a you. I cannot stand by itself. If there is no you, there is no I. Have you noticed this? When you were a little kid, you never understood I first. You always understood you first. Yeah, as babies start growing, They understand you. Yeah. Initially, when they learn to speak, they take their own names and say, Ekta is hungry. They don't understand I. Ego is not understood initially. First, into the understanding sprouts you. Slowly, because of you, I comes up. So when you say that don't do this, Ekta wants to do that only because she wants to reaffirm the existence of I. That's how kids, when they're growing up, that's why kids are a little stubborn. If you say don't eat the mud, the kid will eat the mud. It is just a reaffirmation of I. Yeah, that understanding of I and you has started developing. So this ego is nothing but I and you. So basically, ego requires two, Dvaitam, I and you. Yeah. Now the creator or God or Brahman consciousness is one without a second. Means what? There is no Dvaitam. It is all one. There is no you, there is no I. This is Dvaitam. We are in Dvaitam. We have not experienced Advaitam. There are no two gods or there are no two Brahman consciousness for the I and you battle to start. Not possible. Are you getting it? That is why it is a one without a second. We are one with a second. That is a one without a second. Is it very clear now what the first line means? Yeah. So now, if there is no two gods or two Brahman consciousness, there is no ego, because the root cause of ego is Dvaitam, is the presence of I and you, but that I and you does not exist there. So obviously there is no ego. If there is no ego, what did the ego give rise to? Your result-oriented attitude. Remember? We spoke about it. Yeah. God or Brahman consciousness does not have that result-oriented attitude. So there is no motivation for creating anything. No need for creating anything. No want, no desire, no reason for creating anything. So if there's no reason or no cause, there is no effect. Therefore, the Brahman consciousness is not the doer. And therefore, he does not experience anything. And there is no action. Is this very clear? Yeah. For all this to happen, for action to be there, for doership to be there, for experiencership to be there, ego is required. But ego does not exist at that level of the Brahman consciousness. Therefore, there is no karma phala. Is this very clear? It is therefore not the doer, neither is there any action, instrument or seed for such activity. Hence, it is not the cause for this creation or the creator. Hence, there is no such thing as creation. You are therefore neither the doer of actions nor the enjoyer of experiences. You are the all, ever at peace, unborn and perfect. Since there is no cause or reason for creation, there is no effect known as the world. The world appearance is but delusion. Get it? Everything is cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. Everything. But if there is really no cause for this creation, the effect of this creation is also not real. It's unreal. It is a delusion. Yeah. The moment you recognize this, you will recognize you are not the doer, you are not the experiencer. Yeah? It's just like waking up from a dream. The moment you are up, you realize, oh, it's all gone. All that running around, churning, emotional turmoil, this drama, that drama, everything was just a dream. It's all dropped away. It does not exist. It's not real. Yeah? When thus the objectivity of the world is seen to be unreal, what is experience, and of what? When there is no experience, there is no experiencer. Thus, you are pure and liberated. Bondage and liberation are mere words. Yeah. Highlight this. This is very important. Bondage and liberation are mere words. It is a creation of your own mind. Sikhidwaja said, Lord, by the wise and well-reasoned words which you have uttered, I have been fully awakened. I realize that since there is no cause, Brahman is neither the doer of anything nor the creator of anything. Hence, there is neither mind nor an ego sense. Such being the case, I am pure, I am awakened. I salute myself. There is not which is the object of my consciousness. Means everything is just my consciousness or the Brahman consciousness. Very clear? Can we move on to the next page now? Page 317.
Vasistha continued. Thus awakened spiritually, Shikhidwaja entered into deep meditation from which he was playfully awakened by Kumbha, who said, O king, you have been duly awakened and enlightened. What has to be done now has to be done, regardless of whether this world vision ceases or does not cease. Once the light of the self has been seen, you are instantly freed from the undesirable and from mental modifications, and you remain as one liberated while still living. Shikhidwaja, who was now radiant with self-knowledge, asked the Brahmana, Kumbha, for further understanding. When the reality is one indivisible, infinite consciousness, how could this apparent division of the seer, the seen, and sight arise in it? Kumbha replied, Well asked, O king. This is all that remains for you to know. Whatever there is in this universe will cease to be at the end of this world cycle, leaving only the essence, which is neither light nor darkness. That is pure consciousness, which is supreme peace and infinite. It is beyond logic and intellectual comprehension. It is known as Brahman or Nirvana. It is smaller than the smallest, larger than the biggest, and the best among the excellent. In relation to it, what now appears to be is but an atomic particle. That which shines as the I consciousness and which is the universal self is what exists as this universe. There is indeed no real distinction between that universal self and the universe, as there is no distinction between air and its movement. One may say that between the waves and the ocean there is a causal relationship in terms of time and space, but in the universal self or infinite consciousness there is no such relationship, and hence the universe is without a cause. In that infinite consciousness, this universe floats as a particle of dust. In it, the word world comes to be endowed with substantiality or reality. That infinite consciousness alone is the essence here. It pervades all. It is one. It is consciousness. It holds everything together. Yet, one cannot say it is one because of the total absence of divisibility or duality. Hence, it is sufficient to know that the self alone is the truth and not let the notion of duality rise. That alone is everywhere at all times, in all the diverse forms. It is not seen, not experienced through the senses and the mind, nor is it an object to be attained. Hence, it is neither the cause nor the effect. It is extremely subtle. It is pure experiencing, neither the experiencer nor the experience. Though it is thus described, it is beyond description. Hence, one cannot say that it is nor that it is not. How then can it be the cause of this creation?
Okay. So, Sikhidhwaja enters into meditation, and then he was playfully awakened by Kumbha. And Kumbha said, "O king, you have been duly awakened and enlightened. What has to be done now has to be done, regardless of whether this world vision ceases or does not cease. Once the light of the self has been seen, you are instantly freed from the undesirable and from mental modifications, and you remain as one liberated while still living." Yeah. So he became a Jivan Mukta because he became enlightened and awakened at this point. Now understand, there are stages in enlightenment. So this must be probably the first stage where there are questions still persisting, where still he needs to learn a little bit more, where still he has certain questions. But he has now recognized the self. He has understood the self, and what has happened? He is instantly freed from the undesirable and mental modifications, and he is liberated while still living. Yeah, he is a Jivan Mukta. Clear? Sikhidhwaja, who was now radiant with self-knowledge, asked the Brahmana Kumbha for further understanding. When the reality is one indivisible, infinite consciousness, how could this apparent division of the seer, the seen, and the sight arise? You are the seer. Yeah. What is in front of you is what is being seen. I am the object of your sight, and the I, or the energy that is perceiving this object, is that which is seeing it all. Now, how does this distinction arise in all this unreality? So let's see what Kumbha answers. This is all that remains for you to know. Whatever there is in this universe will cease to be at the end of this world cycle, leaving only the essence, which is neither light nor darkness. That is pure consciousness. So basically he's saying the Brahman consciousness was there before the creation of this universe. Brahman consciousness itself is the creation, and the creation persists for a while and it dissolves away. And what still remains is that pure consciousness, the Brahman consciousness. It is supreme peace and infinite, beyond logic and intellectual comprehension. It is known as Brahman or Nirvana. It is smaller than the smallest, larger than the biggest, and the best among the excellent. In relation to it, what now appears to be is but an atomic particle. That which shines as the I consciousness and which is the universal self is what exists as this universe. There is indeed no real distinction between that universal self and the universe, as there is no distinction between air and its movement. So I consciousness is that individual jiva that came out of the pool of consciousness and said, I am different. Yeah? That I consciousness is Ghazal, is Mitesh, is Jayashri, is Subbu, is Charu, is every Each one of you is that individual I consciousness. That I consciousness or that individual consciousness is not different from the Brahman consciousness. It's the drop of water which came out from the same ocean. Yeah? One may say that between the waves and the ocean there is a causal relationship in terms of time and space. Means the ocean causes the wave to come up. You may say that there is a causal relationship. Yeah? At a particular time, because of the ocean current, a particular wave comes up, remains for a while, and it goes down. So the cause is the ocean, the effect is the wave. Yeah? You can say that scientifically, theoretically. But in the universal self or infinite consciousness, there is no such relationship. And hence the universe is without a cause. In that infinite consciousness, this universe floats just like a particle of dust. In it, the word world comes to be endowed with substantiality or reality. That infinite consciousness alone is the essence here. It pervades all. It is one. It is consciousness. It holds everything together. Yet one cannot say it is one because of the total absence of divisibility or duality. Hence, it is sufficient to know that the self alone is the truth and not let the notion of duality arise. We are actually one huge organism. There is no two, and that organism is the Brahman consciousness. Certain parts of the body of that Brahman consciousness are human, certain parts of the body of the Brahman consciousness are animals, insects, plants, mountains, seas, planets. Yeah? So these are all different parts of the body of that same Brahman consciousness. Air, oxygen, water, sunlight, all this keeps these body parts alive. But all these are also part of that Brahman consciousness. It is one single organism. That is why it is called consciousness. Literal meaning of the word consciousness itself is that which is living, that which is breathing, that which has life in it. Yeah? Everything is nothing but that one life, and that one is without a second. Hence, it is sufficient to know that the self alone is the truth and not let the notion of duality arise. Yeah, the self, this one single organism, which is the Brahman consciousness, this itself is the truth. So don't think of animals and plants and houses and cars and careers and job and you and I. This is a perception of duality. Don't let that arise. Look at it like one single organism. Like this body called Ekta is one single organism. Yeah, but really is it one single organism when perceived from the eye of diversity and duality? No. From the eye of diversity and duality, there are a million other organisms living inside this. So many bacteria, fungi, algae, so many other microorganisms are there living inside, each having a life of its own. But still, for them, there is one single universe called Ekta. Do you see it? Yeah. And the life of their universe is maybe whatever, 60, 70, 80, 100 years. That particular human's life is the life of their universe. Now expand the same thinking to this entire creation. We are like little microorganisms, and we are part of this big organism called Brahman consciousness. And only that is real. Only that is the truth. So drop the perception of duality. That alone is everywhere at all times and in all the diverse forms. It is not seen, not experienced through the senses and the mind, nor is it an object to be attained. Hence, it is neither the cause nor the effect. It is extremely subtle. It is pure experiencing. Neither the experiencer nor the experience. It is pure experiencing. Yeah, highlight this. This pure experiencing, this state can be understood, not intellectually, experientially, only in meditation. Yeah. So if you've not started meditating, it is long due, overdue. Yeah? Start meditating and start going deeper into the self, into silent meditation. Just observing yourself, the truth as it is. Observing the truth of this creation happens by observing the truth of this mini creation. Yeah? So just observe yourself, observe at the level of the body, at the level of the mind, at the level of the emotions, and then you will go deeper into the subconscious and unconscious level of the mind. And that's where you will know the higher truth. If you are looking for a shortcut, there isn't one, huh? It is pure experiencing, neither the experiencer nor the experience. Though it is thus described, it is beyond description. Hence, one cannot say that it is nor that it is not. Hence, one cannot say that it is and one cannot say it is not. Yeah? You can just experience it. What is. How then can it be the cause of this creation? Yeah? That which cannot be described, that which can only be experienced. How can that which have no cause, no effect, how can that ever be the cause of this creation? Yeah. I'll leave you with this thought. Sit and contemplate. Really, this creation has no cause. There is no purpose to my life. There is really no purpose. There is really nothing. Yeah. Think about this. There is nothing to do. I am not the doer only. And I am not even the experiencer. There is really nothing to do. I leave you with this last homework and I will see you next week. Until then, keep contemplating, keep walking the path. Jai Gurudev.